Hey there, this is Molly Christensen, and I want to share a story with you. Last week I had the opportunity to go to Hawaii, and while we're there, the locals told us about this awesome place on the island to go snorkeling. And so my husband and I, we were a little early because of the time change, but we couldn't find any rental places, but we went to the grocery store and we bought us a snorkel set. So we go down there to this place, and it didn't look like much because it's just black lava rock and it wasn't very big. We get over there, and it's called two-step, and that's because you can take 2 steps into the ocean and then go snorkeling down these 2 rocks. And if you didn't take those 2 steps, it would actually be a little hard because the waves were coming in and crashing. Well, I'm not a very good swimmer, and I got a little bit scared. My husband went out first and checked it out. He came back and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it is so awesome. You got to do this." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to do this." And so I put on the snorkel gear, I walk over to the 2 steps, and I froze. I couldn't do it. I could not get in. I totally chickened out. And so he got back in and did a little more snorkeling, but he was really good. He didn't pressure me or shame me or anything. He just allowed me to be fine with that. And I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to be fine with that. But as I got to thinking about it, I was like, why didn't I go? That was scary. And I thought, it's because I am not a very good swimmer, and I just didn't think I was going to swim out there. So usually when we have a struggle, it's either because we can't see ourselves doing it, or we don't have the skill or tools to do it, or both. Okay, so I thought about that with my snorkeling, and I was thinking, okay, so I definitely couldn't see myself out there. In fact, what I was seeing was me drowning, which would be horrible. And I also didn't really have the skill or the tools. I did have the snorkel mask, that was good, but I didn't have the skill to swim in that water. So I thought about it. I'm like, well, what if I got a tool? I don't have time to go learn to swim, but I could get a tool. And so I did. I got a pool noodle. And I'm like, with a pool noodle, I could see myself doing it. So we got lucky. My husband loves to snorkel, and we were actually able to go back to that place right before we left. So we went back, and this time I felt way more confident. I had my pool noodle, and so I was still a little scared. It was still a little uncomfortable, but I knew that this time I could do it. So I grabbed the pool noodle, hopped in, and went snorkeling, and it was amazing. It was really cool. And I would have missed out on that opportunity if I hadn't have figured out what it was that I really needed to have in this situation to make it work, to overcome that fear. Now, our brains are programmed to keep us alive and comfortable. And so when we feel fear, it's to stop us from doing something that will either kill us or make us uncomfortable. And what I needed to do in this situation was to distinguish with, where's this fear coming from? Is my brain trying to keep me alive or just comfortable? Well, in a way, it was trying to keep me alive because I really can't swim that way, that well, But it was also, I was experiencing fear too because I knew there was going to be some discomfort involved. Like the water is going to be too cold, and like fish might touch me. And actually that day we forgot our towels, so I was going to be cold when I got out. There was definitely that part of the discomfort. But when I got the tool, I was able to do it because I no longer had that fear of sinking in the water, So I love this comparison because we do this to ourselves all the time in our lives. There's things we know we want to do, or we ought to do because it's our duty and it's the right thing to do, or we just felt inspired to do it. But a lot of times we stop ourselves because of fear. So it's a really good idea to ask yourself, am I fearful because my life is actually in danger? Or am I fearful just because I'm going to feel a little discomfort? Discomfort's okay, and we need it if we're going to grow and change. There's no growth in the comfort zone. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this message, and we'll talk to you again soon.